Greetings and salutations, everybody. We're back with another episode of 3 Minute Anime, finally. Although,
Hooray!
not as long as between the previous two.
Yeah.
Shorter series, more on schedule, more consistently, and we only delayed recording the podcast once.
Yes. Well, twice. We're doing this later in the week, but
Fair, but like, yeah.
To be fair, though, we did in this watching at least we actually covered 2 seasons.
We did,
yes.
True, which is still fewer episodes than the one season of the previous one.
Yeah,
Still 50% smaller. Actually, more than that, but yes. So we are covering Eric's most recent series selection.
Space Dandy.
Yes, it's a
He is a dandy in space.
he is a dandy in space. It is a Shinichiro Watanabe joint. So it's gonna be weird.
Mm-hmm.
The music's gonna kick ass.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna find an animation group animators who kick ass.
Mm-hmm.
This makes less sense than any other Watanabe joint I've seen.
I was going to say, making sense is optional.
Bebop
It's
made
very much an anthology series where it's just basically just like, I'm going to showcase all my friends and have them just do crazy
yeah.
stuff.
There
And
are a
it's gonna be
bunch
fun
of
and
different
cool.
lead animators and lead director and animation directors and
writers and
Yeah.
Okay, so before we dive into the actual what happens in the show, because we're not going to do that really, because there's no fucking point.
The thing with this show is more than any other show that we've done, like even like the surreal sort of absurdist of like Nishijo,
Yeah,
right? Like this almost has 0 through threads.
yes, I would have said this has no narrative through line until the last 2 fucking episodes.
Until the last 2 episodes, it's an exercise in absurdity, randomness. It's almost like a weekly sketch show,
It
like
Yes.
that doesn't connect in any way until it does. But but the problem is like trying to sit and describe this show is the whole, explain the color green to a blind person.
really.
yeah, it really is. So consistently through each episode, we have the main cast. We have Space Dandy, who's an alien hunter. His whole point is he goes around the galaxy finding new unregistered aliens so that he can register them and get paid. He is a lazy space surfer dude.
Yes.
With a pompadour and
He's
a kick-ass spaceship.
He's like a 1950s greaser,
Yeah.
spacer, trucker, cowboy,
Horn dog.
horn dog.
Very much a horn dog.
Oh yeah. Not subtle about it either.
Nope. There is an entire song about how much he loves ass.
Yes, there is.
Joining him on this is QT, a sentient vacuum cleaner.
Yes.
I swear to God,
QT
he's
is
crying.
largely the straight man for the series.
Gav's right. He kind of fills the Crichton role from Red Dwarf, but not quite. It's in that sort of vein.
He's a sanitation bot lifted above his station.
Yes.
Yes.
He's just not as good at
Way
being
above
he's
his
just not as
station.
good at being sarcastic as Crichton is.
He's better at being exasperated, though.
Oh God, yes. And Meow, who's from Beetlejuice, and is totally not a cat.
He's not a cat. He
He's
looks
more
like
like a weasel, honestly.
I agree.
Parrot.
He definitely has that sort of muscular sort of air about him more than a cat.
Yeah.
But then he acts like a cat sometimes. So
Yeah. He's also
like
lazier than Dandy.
and that takes doing.
That takes doing.
I mean, Meow is kind of honestly, he's the closest thing to an ongoing plot thread that runs through the entire show.
Kind of, yeah.
Only because like the entire first episode is Dandy trying to hunt down an alien. Turns out it's Meow, who is part of a really common and well-known planet of called Beetlejuice, a well-known race that Dandy is convinced is rare, and then just stays with the crew.
Yeah, because Meow claims that he knows the locations of a bunch of rare aliens that have not been registered. And he is occasionally correct.
He is occasionally correct.
Yes,
But it's usually impossible for them to catch said aliens because, of course, it is.
because reasons. Please note, this is a series where the main cast end an episode dead
Multiple times.
multiple times.
There's an episode that ends with the zombie apocalypse across the galaxy.
Yes,
That's episode
and
4.
and then it always ends with "to be
Yes.
continued."
By the way, that was episode 4.
Yeah.
And
That episode is amazing, if only because of the whole like minor plot about insurance companies assassinating people.
yeah, well, because once almost everybody becomes zombies, they start collecting on their life insurance policies because they're dead.
And you can't have that.
And the insurance policy say, wait, we're paying out way too much money here. So they started assassinating the zombies. And then the zombies had enough of that and turned the entire insurance company into zombies.
Yep.
And now everybody are zombies. And pretty chill with things.
But the thing about this, when I say it says "to be continued," like this was episode 4. Do they bring up the zombie apocalypse in episode 5?
Nope.
No.
No, not at all.
Not until
Do
season
they
2.
bring it up again in this first season?
Nope.
Nope.
They bring it up offhand at the near midway point through an episode in season 2, somewhere in there where Meow mentions that Dandy seemed more lively when he was a zombie.
Yes.
Which is actually a very important revelation, as it turns out, towards the actual end of the show and the explanation of actually what's going on.
Yes. There's actually something going on. The other important recurring thing that happens in most episodes is Dr. Gell, Beta, and the Gogol Empire are hunting Space Dandy for some damn reason.
Dr. Gell, I'll point out, is a
He's an Eric D&D character.
So gorilla.
He is
in
absolutely an Eric D&D character.
space. He is awesome. He is a gorilla in a zoot suit and a fedora with an opera cape and a monocle and a cane, and he flies around inside the head of the Statue of Liberty with a bondage gag in its mouth.
Also, he's a mad scientist.
Also, he's a mad scientist.
Yep.
And he's been tasked by Admiral Perry of the Gogol Empire, who's a giant flaming skull head, sort of, to hunt down and capture Dandy for reasons, which are explained later in the show. We find out why in the last episode of the show.
Which is weird because it's just a running gag for most of the series.
Right. Oh, also in most episodes they blow up also because of course they do because that's what happens in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, people explode.
It's one of those shows where nothing is important and everything is important.
Yes.
Yes.
Like we legitimately spent the majority of this show just bouncing from one episode to the next, just getting hit with absurd situation after absurd situation.
Oh my god.
Always beautifully animated.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
The animation is again, as I said, it's a Watanabe joint. The animation's going to be great. The music's going to kick ass.
Yeah.
And guess what? The music kicks ass, and the animation is great.
The animation's great.
like if you want to watch a show for just those two reasons, this is a phenomenal show for that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It is also often very funny, and there's an actual. It turns out the actual narrative thread is kind of cool, but is really not important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's there's a narrative through the entire show that actually doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
And we're not going to give it away because honestly,
No. We will not spoil this. Watch the fucking show.
Yeah.
The show is absolutely telling you absolutely everything. It is hiding nothing the entire time.
It's brilliant. I'll say this.
Yeah.
I think all of us at one point or another did call it, but didn't fucking care and just kept going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will say this. I think my favorite episode is the season 1. I think it's the finale. Hang on, let me double check this. Let me double check that where it is. Episode list. I have it somewhere. I had it open? I swear. There we go. It is. No, it's not the last episode. It's a little earlier than that. Sorry. It is episode 7. A race in space is dangerous, baby.
Yes.
This is my favorite episode of the show.
Hey, you want references? We got references.
Oh yeah. This episode. Okay, I'll say this: if you've watched Outlaw Star, Do you remember the giant race in space with the McDougal brothers, the Outlaw Star, the pirates crashing the race partway through, all that bullshit shenanigans? Yeah, that's basically the plot of this episode. Basically. Except that they're not rival bounty hunters, and it's Dr. Gell and the Gogol Empire who crashed the race partway through. And it ends with a giant explosion that with the warp fields that flings Dandy to the end of the universe, where he realizes that there's a giant Buddha statue of himself there. And Dandy is the Buddha.
It goes from Outlaw Star via way of an exploding meat bun.
Yep.
That is legitimately the reason. To 2001: Space Odyssey.
Yes. Also, there's a significant dose of wacky racers in there too.
Oh
Yes.
yes, no small amount of it.
It also has that whole habit of using something like, again, this is an example of it, but this is more like the bulk of the episode was the race. They do have a habit of like setting up a premise and a thing, and we're gonna do this, and this is the plot of the episode, and they're completely fucking dropping that off a cliff to do something else. They do that multiple times.
They do.
Yes.
And it's hilarious every fucking time.
I think my favorite episode is A World with No Sadness.
Oh, that one's so good.
Where
God, that one is so gorgeous. Holy shit.
It's a lot more somber than most of them. It functions almost entirely in this bizarre dream logic, where Dandy gets sucked down to planet Limbo from a dark dimension, and everything is dead except maybe not, and they're all arguing about this, and the whole thing just feels like a very bizarre dream. Feels like Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead if viewed while on acid.
It is also one of the prettiest episodes of the show.
It is also fucking gorgeous.
Like, the animation's great, but like the animation is not even the best part of it. Like, literally just the art.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Oh my god.
It is beautiful, just gorgeously animated. The stylization of everything, the way everything is executed, from concept to everything else. It's A World with No Sadness is definitely pretty awesome. It's also, again, not a typical Space Dandy episode, which makes it stand out more.
Yes. By the way, this is immediately followed up by the High School Musical episode.
Yep.
Yes.
Because Space Dandy's nothing if not fond of tonal shifts.
Well, it's like in the first season, the one episode, I wouldn't say that it stands out, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite episode, but it's stuck with me, is the one that is basically the Cowboy Bebop episode.
Yeah, Mary Companion is a wagon in space, baby.
But is that the one with the little girl?
Yes.
Yep.
Incredible. This is an episode that you really could easily have seen having been about Spike.
Yep.
In fact, the episode arguably might make more episode with Spike instead of Dandy.
It would. Even down to Jet and Faye sitting, waiting for a fucking tow truck that's never going to come.
Yes.
Because it's down to Spike to organize it.
Literally, it's a Bebop episode, except with the crew of the Aloha Oe.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'll say this: it's funnier because it's Dandy, not Spike.
Yep.
Also, there's the whole point where he ends up being possessing the body of a stuffed penguin.
Yes.
Yes.
Space Dandy is nothing if not weird.
Yeah.
Yes. It is a weird show.
I do like how they try to. Well, I don't say they try, but they set up tropes and then also abandon them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the number of times in like the first 3 or 4 episodes, Dandy would come out with something on the lines of, he'd remember this long past skill that he used to do in his youth that it's just so happens to be appropriate right now, like space surfing or trucking or whatever else is appropriate and necessary. And after about 5 episodes, they just stopped doing that.
Yep.
And occasionally bring it back, but like for the vast majority, it's like, oh, okay. Does he have this bullshit, Acme power, or doesn't he? Or the fact that his fucking the spaceship that we see is both run down junk heap and also a luxury fucking pleasure yacht and a fucking wave motion gun carrying battleship.
That's the solo escape vehicle can transform into a robot also.
And he's got a fucking mecha.
Robot. Yeah.
A mecha in a Hawaiian shirt, to be fair.
Yes, because of course it is.
And a pompadour.
Yes.
Yep. It's literally a case of if you've ever played D&D or those kind of games, it's basically Feng Shui the anime.
In a lot of ways, yeah.
It's like, what would be cool right now? This.
Fuck it, let's do it. Oh god, it is just like Gav, you're kind of right. It's kind of improv theater as an anime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of yes and moments.
Yeah.
Like someone brings something up and they say, and the answer is almost always yes, and we're doing this too.
And the thing is, as random as it is, they have a fairly strong supporting cast as well that recur. Scarlet and Honey
Oh god,
are both incredible characters.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Scarlet is the agent that Danny and crew try to turn an she's the agent at the alien registry they try to turn rare aliens to. Scarlet is also a stone cold badass, it turns out.
Yep.
And is genuinely just really fucking cool.
Yes. And it's generally not there to put up with any of.
She puts up with none of Danny's bullshit, basically.
In a professional manner, at the very least.
Yes. Now,
Just like, yeah.
does she develop feelings for Danny? Yes, because Danny does have a decent side to him. It turns out. He tries very hard not to let it out.
Yeah.
Because that's like
He's
effort
the
and
asshole
such.
with a heart of gold sort of situation.
Yeah, and it turns out that they kind of actually dig each other, but like they both realize they'd be terrible together.
Yeah.
Two different worlds, baby.
That's sort of the wow, you're awesome. I really like you. We'll kill each other in a week.
Yep.
So, kind of friends? Yeah, I think so. Kinda. The other is is Honey, who's the waitress they have most of the time at Boobies.
Boobies.
Movies.
The less
Boobies.
subtly named Hooters.
Yes.
It's exactly what you think it is. It's Hooters in space.
Yeah.
Honey's a waitress
Maybe
there.
some-
She is an
they do
incredibly good
something-
waitress.
Yes.
She is cheerful, upbeat, always is good at good at cheering up her customers, loves doing it, knows exactly what types of drinks and food to get them and such and all that stuff. And there's actually a really good reason for that.
Yeah.
Also, she's a professional wrestling fan.
Yeah.
But it turns out she's actually a very rare alien. Well, she's a half breed. She's half of a very. One of her parents was one of a particular very rare type of alien called a Cloudian, whose whole shtick is they have these sort of psycho. They basically have these giant sort of computerized nanotech clouds that store all the information they ever accumulate, and they have these huge databanks of knowledge that they fly around with. And what they like doing is finding people. What they do is they go around, they find people whose lives they want to make better, and they make their lives better.
They're basically completely positive empaths.
Yep. And Honey is half Cloudian, so she's really good at picking up on what people she's really empathic and likes making people happy.
So she works in catering. Well,
So she's a waitress.
Yeah. And it's like, that actually makes a hell of a lot of sense.
Yep. She's really good at it. Now, yeah, you look at the first time you see Honey and you're like, oh, I know what type of character she is. And you're really fucking wrong.
You're really fucking wrong. She ends up being the reason why, well, not to spoil down the line, she's one of the major turning points of the actual show.
Yes.
She's one of the major like factors to why the villain's plan doesn't work.
Yep. There's
Because
and by the way,
she's amazing.
there's a villain. We're not spoiling who it is.
It's me.
Yeah, oh yeah, sure. But yeah, no, she's a major. She and Scarlet are the reason the villains don't win.
Yeah. Like Dandy is
Dandy's the plot device.
He really is.
Dandy is the MacGuffin. You really could have done. They really could have done an entire actual serious series about Honey and Scarlet saving the universe.
Yep.
They didn't because this is funnier.
Yes.
Mind you, I would watch a show about Honey and Scarlet palling around together, kicking butt, and saving the universe, and making people happy because they're awesome.
But yeah, this show goes from slow, quiet, introspective, existential, making you think about life, existence, and everything in between, to the actual Statue of Liberty
in bondage gear,
stripped down to bondage gear, flying Gurren Lagann style into a black hole.
Yep. This happens. Also, the Japanese pro wrestler Misawa shows up on screen.
Yes.
In a wrestling match.
Yep. There is legitimate Emerald Flosion in this show.
This show, in fact, does not make any goddamn fucking sense.
And it's kind of great for that.
Yes.
Did we mention the Groundhog Day episode?
Oh god, there was a Groundhog Day episode. I forgot that.
Oh yeah.
Where it took them a lot longer than it took Bill Murray to figure out who was
They did not figure. Well, they're idiots.
They really
All three of them are
idiots.
QT is the smartest of the bunch, and QT is not very smart.
QT is a vacuum cleaner.
Yes. There's a nickname for them that they're given by the other race, the rival racing team in the race episode, and I've forgotten what it is. It sticks with the rest of the show. The narrator starts calling them that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh god, hold on.
Something like PBB.
The Bonehead, the Pinhead, and the Nitwit. Was that it?
BBP, yes.
Yeah, BBP.
Yeah, I forget what it stands for. It's Bonehead, something or other, and Pinhead or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's all comes across because the other like super perfect rival race team have a 3 initial thing describing them.
Here we go. Yes,
it's like
Blockhead, Bonehead, and Pinhead.
That's it.
And they give themselves their own one, except the narrator takes over and calls them that, and it sticks.
Well, that's because that is what the other race team calls them, because they have their own nicknames.
Yeah,
and I forget what they are, and that's not really important.
I mean, like I say, to be fair, they caused the fucking whatever explosion because somebody tells Meow to fill up the gas tank, and he does. Just not with gas.
Yeah.
Because he's an idiot.
Yep.
He just fills it with whatever's to hand.
Well, he fills it with gas. There's gas in there.
Yeah. There's also their lunch.
Yeah.
Their meat buns. The meat buns that explode, as I mentioned. A fire extinguisher, I think. Just whatever he could find, he just filled the tank.
Oh, yes. The Ralton team led by Prince. Who is basically the Space Dandy equivalent of Andy from Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, except we kind of get another Andy later on.
Yeah, probably a closer. I'll put it this way: Prince is vastly more superior than Dandy is, unlike Andy, who is basically Spike's equal.
Yeah,
just more infuriating. Also, dear Lord, Andy has a literal Bishonen sparkle.
He does.
He does. To the point where he sparkles so much Prince. when he opens the cockpit of his racer, you see the sparkle dust escape.
Yes.
He's actually sparkling. It's not a trick of the light. It's actual sparkles that irradiate from him.
Yep. This show is gloriously silly and weird.
It really is. Like I said, we're glossing over and bouncing around because it's impossible to just go through this show.
Yeah, I mean, we could describe every episode, but that sort of defeats
But we're not
the point.
going to.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is a show that must be just experience yourself. Go and watch this show.
That's it. It's not a case of watching this show. It's experiencing this show.
I will also say I would definitely recommend. It's a show that I think is strongest in small doses.
Yes.
An episode here and there goes a long way.
Yeah, I mean, like you could watch
not
like
because it's bad, but because it is.
no, like we watched
lot.
a good chunk in a row all at once, and none of us had any objections to that. But I think doing it like one episode a day at most would be like one episode a day would be ideal. I think
having time to actually digest what you've just seen before you move on to the next one would be amazing for this show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But it's 26 total episodes for the 2 seasons. Apparently, there's going to be a third one, or there's rumor there is. I am baffled as to how or why. Actually, the series ends in a way that yes, there could be a sequel series if you want to.
Yeah,
but why? I mean, sure. It doesn't hurt it.
This is the thing, though. We've had this discussion before about shows where they've continued past where they should because the story's finished. But this is Space Dandy.
Yes. But it just feels like it's a show that they did what they wanted to do, and they don't need to do any more. There's really not much more to do of what they did.
Unless they've got another 12 animators that they just want to throw shit
yeah,
at.
I guess. Yeah, that's
probably why they're talking about another season. They got another 12 animators that they just want to go, these guys have really come up since we last did Space Dandy. Let's give them an episode.
Yeah.
I mean, sure. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I'll probably watch it because I'll be honest, I am willing to give anything Watanabe does a shot. And the only things I've not seen of his, is literally, I think it's just Carol and Tuesday now.
Yeah.
And that's only because I've just not gotten around to it yet. Not because I don't want to. Because I very much want to watch Carol and Tuesday. Because it looks fucking amazing. Like, legitimately, the only series I have that I do not think I have absolutely adored of Watanabe's is Wolf's Rain, and that was good. But like, I fucking adore Bebop. I fucking adore Samurai Champloo. I fucking adore Space Dandy. I'm certain there's other stuff that I don't remember everything he's done off the top of my head. Hang on. I'm curious. I gotta look this up because otherwise
it's fine. We've got time to pad.
Yeah. There's just not a lot to talk. Like again, like
we knew this was going to be a short show.
No, honestly, we wanted to do this short anyway because we do have stuff to do tonight.
Yes, we do. He did Macross Plus.
Oh, Macross Plus is fucking amazing.
Yep. He did Kids on the Slope. Okay, yeah, another music show. Shocking. Did not see that one, so I've not seen Terror in Resonance either. Haven't heard of that.
I have heard of that. I heard it's hit or miss.
That's fair. He also did an episode. He was an episode director for episodes 5 and 8 of Vision of Escaflowne.
Okay,
awesome.
He was a storyboard artist for episode 19 of Ergo Proxy.
That's a show that was thoroughly rammed up its own asshole.
He's the music producer for Lupin III, A Woman Called Fujiko Mine.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Lack of surprise through the fucking roof.
Yeah, they knew what
the
they were
music
doing
in that show kicks ass. He was the unit director for the ending of Death Parade. Or he's unit director of something or for Death Parade, part of it. Music advisor on the movie on Sonny Boy. Creative producer for Blade Runner Black Lotus. So, yeah. Not a ton of stuff, but it's all good mostly with Terror in Resonance kind of being the low point. Oh, Wolf's Rain is not in here. That wasn't him. I'm wrong. Wolf's Rain is not him, so I don't lay that on his feet. Okay. Wolf's Rain's still good. Who did Wolf's Rain then?
Let's get going.
Yes. But is there anything else we need to talk about on Space Dandies?
Honestly, I don't think so.
It's a weird thing. It's just I don't think there's much really else. The only real thing is, I mean, we can't really do final thoughts because we've covered pretty much everything. It's a great, and the animation in the show is superlative just because
it's fucking stellar
of how they've done it. This is not a show that they farmed out to a studio just to get it done. This is every episode is a different director artist, whatever, showing what the fuck they can do. The music is the music. It's a Watanabe show. It's
Yeah.
The music is great.
Yeah.
The story is, as I've said, it's irrelevant, but also
Episodic
extremely
and insane.
relevant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Episodic and insane.
And overall, like I said, yeah, for me, this is a show that has to be experienced.
No, absolutely. Gab is entirely correct. It is. Space Dandy is not viewed as experienced. It is. Yeah. You really should just go and watch this yourself. You will have a good time, I promise
Yes.
you.
I think we can just safely say this is a resounding 3 thumbs all the way fucking up.
Yep.
Again, like, don't go, like, I'll say this, don't go into it expecting a great story. Don't go into it expecting that, the main character is going to be someone you're like, I think he's a really cool and good person, because he's not. He's hysterical. He's funny. You laugh at him most of the time.
Yes.
It's not that he's a terrible person and bad things happen to him. Though that he's not a great person, sometimes bad things do happen to him. But he often does good things, and sometimes it's because he wants to be a good person. And sometimes it's not. Sometimes he stumbles ass backwards into doing the right thing. And that's usually hilarious. But yeah, no, seriously, go watch the show. It's a lot of, I normally don't like, it is a giant dose of seriality that everyone should have a lot of fun with. Like, it's just a fun show. Go watch it.
It is. Go watch the show. It's great.
Chill out, have a drink, don't look too deep.
Or look crazy deep. It invites you to do both.
Yeah.
It really does. But like I said, what I'm saying is, don't try and hold the reins. Just go for the ride.
Yes. I will say this: when the series ends, you will go, "Wait, what the fuck?" But fuck you for making sense.
Yeah.
Which was my reaction at the end. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this episode, guys. Like, I know it's a really short episode, but like,
yeah, it's
I mean, like, literally the only way we could go longer is if we dove deep into each episode and broke down. Like, no,
we're not doing.
We're not doing that. It's not.
It also ruins the show.
Yeah, no, seriously. We don't want to ruin the show for you guys. Go watch it, please.
Go watch it. Just go and watch Go watch The Crazy.
Yeah,
you'll have fun.
I will say this: it is legitimately my second biggest recommendation show. Of, if you have not seen this, please go watch it. By Nichijou.
Yeah.
Nichijou is, I think, the show I think honestly is the one that, like, please watch this show.
Yeah, Nichijou is a show that deserves more praise than it gets. This show is
like, this is the Watanabe show everyone forgets exists, kinda.
Yeah, exactly.
And it deserves better than that.
All right.
Anyways, that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Gab's picking the next series. We'll discuss that off stream or what have you. I don't know.
Yep.
Things happening. We'll be back in like a month or so, probably. I don't know. See you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
I'll figure it out. Bye.
Bye.